practice, when it's evolving, it's all about knowing, knowing, knowing. Now, a lot of people can't be in that space because they are constantly reacting to the information in the modern world, technology world that's coming on. Because I thought I knew. I am tired of knowing this. I've had enough. So it goes very personal because you have come into the place of the identification. So your relationship um, to your health, your relationship to your partner, your relationship to the what thing that the other, all becomes reactive. Now today I am going to very gently allow you where have you have come into that conclusion and to the sleep or to the death of that I know. As soon as I know, that means remind yourself that I am out of knowing. There is nothing. I am rearranging the things, subjects, and objects, and constantly battling with that in my ego to keep that I know this. A person who comes into this place of knowing, we gently tell them that they are in the practice of evolving and they are not popular because uh, when they grow and grow, suddenly you could see people who cannot match the same frequency and the growth as you are. They just fall out. And the other thing is, when you know something very well, and you don't have to disagree with the world constantly in your thought because thought is limited. I'll tell you why thought is limited. You just have gentle words said that is not where I'm, that is not my understanding. You use subtle words. I'll come that into that just move on. So answering a lot of emails and calls, and especially the community that is healing or going through separations. A lot of separations are happening, and separations are happening in such a way. Uh, just allow this practice to gently settle rather than reacting into everything that is coming into your life with your limited knowing. Okay, saying that, take a deep breath in and elongate the spine, gently show the scroll back, opening up that chest, and take a deep breath in into the count of 5 and gently allow your breath out to go on a space of elongation. Maybe more than 5, maybe 8, 9, whatever is suitable for you. And gently becoming aware of that breath because it's a living thing. It is not a static, it is a living thing. And gently now remove the force of the breath that you're forcing to feel something. Because a lot of people are in this stage. I need to force something, I need to control something to feel something. But that's also death. Now I'll move the camera towards Darren. Now shoulders roll back very gently, arms raised onto the crown. Interlacing the fingers, palms facing up, and very gently twist the spine on the out breath onto the right side, stomach very gently, pulling in, pulling in, pulling in. But the space of the rib cage is open. And very gently start feeling the twist on that right side, giving that space to the liver, spleen, gently opening up the right part of the lungs, breathing in, opening up the neck, the throat, the right ear, everything onto the right side, not as a separation. Now take a deep breath in, back into the center. Change the leg formation. Keep that elongation happening in the spine and the space that you're working more and more. Very gently release in that condition. Now, once you have changed the leg formation, arms raised onto the ground, Keep that spine straight, a stronger spine, but a very open chest. Twist the spine to the left side. Opening up. So you're opening up the space of the spleen, the space of the pancreas. So now you are releasing the knowledge of this breath, releasing the knowledge of the result of the conditioning. Everything in that left side, back into the center. Now take a deep breath in, tongue roll up onto the upper palate, energy gaze onto the, roll the hips forward, shoulders roll back. Breath out into a seated cat. Releasing all that gathered knowledge, which is old, which is static, which is dead, which is scientific, nothing to do with life. Breathing in, tongue roll up onto the upper palate, energy gaze onto the third eye. Now, who you are beyond this limitation of a body, a mind, conditioning, separation. Even you want to know more and more, it is still measurable and it is still limited. Breath out, this time, illness lock, navel lock, throat lock. Now back into the center very gently. Now very gently coming into that space of anything is limited, is measurable. So if my knowledge is limited, and there is so much limitation in my life, not as mine, as sin life. There can be never a complete knowledge about anything. Now take a deep breath in, stretch your neck to the right side, left shoulder opening. So when you have come into the conclusion is that you know something that is dead, back into the center, stretch your neck to the opposite direction. So all these knowledge seekers, they're not living life. Life is a living thing. Back into the center. Breath is moving, body is changing. If your knowledge was as a 5-year-old, you ask, oh, that, imagine that. So just come into this present moment. What you're witnessing is living, movement, changing. Can you ever have a complete knowledge about this? Just observe. Your mind should be very sensitive to observe this. It will start answering these questions with its levitation. Left foot into the back, right hip open, shoulders roll back, opening up that chest. Take that breath. Breath out very gently, releasing that tension, that holding on the groin, holding on the armpit. You can be in this body, but to be in this body, you have to understand its conditioning, its measures, its limitation. Take a deep breath in, drop the elbows, move those palms into the front, release those tension. Whether it is in the, see whether your knuckles is in the limitation. I'm using words, but just observe. And release all those comparisons that you're having, limitation that you're having. And your witnessing is evolving. You can see where the world is at the moment without fear. Have a look. So it's never stop on a technology level, on an AI level, it's evolving. So where if you start holding into one place and you're rejecting the other, you could see how much you're struggling. So limited knowledge constantly starts adding, whatever the invention is. I'm not saying to reject this, but I'm saying to you, you are beyond this. Very gently coming back into a plank, strong on the pelvic floor. Left knee onto the floor, right arm reaching up to the ceiling, into the back and touch the floor. Drop the knees, push the hips forward, push the hips back and relax. Now people are working on a deeper level, on a psychological level. Just observe this also. Because the limitation of the world is still subject and object. So if your knowledge is very limited, through the knowledge, if you know something about yourself, it's also very limited. So it's a very limited because knowledge is limited. But if you witness, knowing you is a movement. But in that movement, it is not to know, but knowing. So see, knowing is alive. Arms facing down, crawling, and bringing the chest into the front, breathing in into a gentle cobra. So I'm not trying to take you into a destination here, but so whatever, when a thought enters into the mind, we keep on adding things. So it's become static, it becomes mechanical, and then you give it an emotion, anger, fear. But if you're constantly looking at it, then you're constantly knowing. But you're not accumulating knowledge out of this thought to come into a conclusion that you know something. No. Keep the breath, keep the witnessing, keep the understanding of constant learning and moving, exploring, exploring. You're a fascinating creature when you know that. Now relax the third eye onto the floor. Just take a moment. And there is such a respect for life and all its creation in this level of understanding, in this level of movement, in this level of knowing. So that's what at the moment you are psychosomatically moving into that space where insect buzzing is life. And then you will find that same life in you, same respect. Now take a deep breath in. Bring the palms where the elbows are, breathing in into up face. Down face. Now very gently align your down face, bend one knee at a time, releasing that tension. Take wherever psychosomatically that stagnation, that program that you're releasing, that it does not serve the purpose of this present movement, knowing. But in the same space, you're not condemning or accepting anything, just watching the whole movement of the thought, the activity, the origin, preservation, destruction when you don't give any more thought into it. Left foot into the front, into the pigeon pose. Shoulders roll back, opening up that chest. Elevate the spine, elevate the rib cage, elevate. Watch. Take a couple of more breaths and drop the elbows, walk those palms. Now you could see the space of sensitivity. The space is more alive. A space that is constantly responding to growth. A space that is constantly healing. Why? It is sensitive to the breath. It is sensitive to the body. It is sensitive to the nature. It is sensitive to the light. Everything around it. Now, this is a living body at that point. It is not a dead body. It is not a dead end. When you know something, it's a dead end. So there are always says people like this are very dangerous because they take decisions from you've got no idea because they're not controlled by anything. When I say dangerous, not in any way harmful for anything, but a dangerous man can trigger things because everyone else thinks that he's dangerous because everyone else is not changed. You got it. So don't get caught up in words. Take a deep breath in, very gently come back. Come back. Observe. So now you're observing the subject, an object, and it's interchanging. That's what I say. So you never will know that person because you have to know him only by that present moment. And the next moment you meet him, again present. It's never a final decision about anything. Got it? Into a plan. Strong on the pelvic floor. Strong on the pelvic floor. Don't slouch. Get that energy moving in a plank right beyond the field. First I'm reaching into the front. Open up. Open up. Open up. Open up. Into the back. Drop the knees and give a good rotation to the hips. Don't put the weight on the knees. Engage the pelvic floor. Stronger on the core. While the rotation to the other side. Never take positions from your ideas. Never take ground out of your ideas. While the rotation on the other side. And push the hips into the back, palm facing. Now there's a great deal of leisure in the sense. As a part of life. You have to have leisure. You have to have that liberation to look at life. Because I know a lot of people looking at life from knowledge, what they knew about a person. Do you think you know me if you have met me about 10 years ago? No. So many things happen. Vice versa, I don't know you. When I meet you in person, then I will look at through a fresh space. But to know that I have to take time actually to see what's happening in me, not as a separate, not what I wish, not I desire. Everybody of you have to have a look at this in your daily stuff. Palms facing. Now, your brain is not running on an autopilot. It is acute, it is clarity, it is sharp, it is live. It can go into any space now because it does not belong to your programming, condition, and separation. You got me here. You got me here. Falling and bringing the chest into the front. Take a deep breath into the up face. Down. Left foot into the back. Left knee to the left chest. Breathe out. Breathing in, stretch back. Left knee to the left elbow. Stretch back. Left knee to the right elbow. Stretch back. Left foot into the front. Arms stretched into the back. Arms raised onto the ground. Palms onto the namaskar position. Now you are not from the outside. Now I may look like very eccentric for a person who is having a limited idea about me. Opening up onto the Virabhadrasana. Just observe. Take a mudra. The depth of your realization is beyond that limitation of the other. Gentle arch. Back into the center. Elbow onto the knee. Right arm very gently stretching up. Now your life might people like look at it and say, oh, he get everything easy. It's not that he get everything easy. You just make place to observe things easily. So things do happen easily because you're patient about it. Like reaching into the front. Left arm reaching up into the ceiling. Why is that? Because you're focusing on inward. You're not have to give answers to anyone. You don't have to say that you know about this because it's never knowing. It's always knowing. Left reaching into the back, touch the foot. Into a plank. Now here you can drop the knees or go down or you can come into a plank. and a lower plank. Breathing in up face, breathe out down face. Very gently, 6 deep cycles, breath on the down face, so it gives permission and time to correct the shoulder blades in the back. So see now, the shift happens when you are into the space of, you're not competing with the external, but you're working on that internal, not as separation. So your measurement is not coming from what is the world think about you. In a money level, in a material level, in this or that, or I don't know what world these days measure people. Right leg up, right knee to the chest, breathe out, stretch back, right knee to the right elbow, stretch back, right knee to the left elbow, stretch back, right foot into the front, arms stretch into the back, arms raise onto the ground, thumbs onto the namaskar position. So your material pursuits are very much not onto the outside. So you are disengaging from this rat race, whether it's a race to accumulate wealth, power, possession. When you come into this place, come into the space of Virabhadrasana, and take a pose that energy is invested in cultivating the momentary wealth, which is peace, harmony, respect for all life. So you won't harm life in any form. Now you have a strength, so uncertainties are the place you live more, not on the certainties of the death. Gentle arch. Observe the breath, Ujjayana Pranayama. Coming back, elbow onto the knee. Left arm reaching up. So you are not worrying about the future. Now you can glide through challenges, because challenge itself, you can understand its limitation into the mind, because you have that innate trust. Stretch into the front, the left arm, touch the floor, right arm reaching up to the ceiling, into the back, touch the floor, into a plank, onto the down face, breathe out, plank, and a lower plank, up face, down face, plank, lower plank, up face, down face, plank, rub the knees, stretch the spine. So what's the difference between now when you start observing? You're not succumbed to the pressure of analysis, paralysis, because you're not bound by fear or limitation. You're not looking at security. How could you secure life? Because I know people are so have this secure part for life. They hardly had a moment to relax and live life. There's certain moments when I don't have control about anything. I have that relentless faith on knowing that the resources will come, and I just do what I do very well. Of course, you might question that I trust boldly, not having answers to give it to you. But at least it has kept me calm in most of the time in my life. So, of course, every difficulty I look at as an opportunity. But the mind is not trained in that way. If it has limitation of knowing something, my faith is a movement. My hope is a movement. I create momentum that most of the community might not see it or think that is as a weakness. Because I'm not conforming myself to the social scripts imposed on what is success. So see the part of you when you come into this realizing. Don't keep on apologizing for your uniqueness. Embrace those parts. This bold authenticity. And then you could see suddenly the fearing has stopped. Scarcity or rejection. But you have found this new space. And that liberation will attract health, the wealth, everything. But don't do it for that. Palms facing down, crawling and bringing the chest into the floor. Shoulders relaxed. Turn the hips side to side. Up face. Down face. Now very quickly walk those palms into the back. Keep the head down. Maybe your feet can be a little bit apart. If you're not in the practice, always things are risky. But when you're in the practice, it amplifies your realization in, in so many little movements. So if you have come into this place in a personal level or a professional level, you could see what's happening. First, people who are insecure will notice you, so you might think they think that you're a problem, but not. They are threatened by your authenticity. They're threatened by your deeper purpose. So don't take it personally. Holding on to the opposite elbows, very gently take a moment to release the tension, the brain fog, the acute pressure on your ears, releasing some tension, holding onto the back of the neck. So you can slightly touch the C1, C2 spine to release any tension. Move the head side to side. Now you're using this class not like a coffee, field birth productivity to go back to the limitation, but a gentle awakening. And bend the knees and sit deeper. Ask yourself, you have a different realization, you have a different breath moving in and out, but it's not dominated by the ego. Energy that is otherwise waste, as I said in the start of it, for the arguments, for the reactions, trying to prove. Take this time when you could see the way the world is at the moment. Now allow your digestion to open up a little bit more. Bring some clarity into that space. Navigate the breath through that. Navigate the frequency and the energy of your study into that space. And very gently allow that energy to sustain. Now bum onto the floor, feet stretching to the front. Use the chest to complete breathe out. Chin up, breathing in, arms stretch up, feet stretch. Engage the pelvic floor, breathe out, breathing in, 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 breathe out. Now very gently, sole of the feet together, gently bringing the knees open, shoulders roll back, elongate. Take a moment to release that limitation noise, limitation in a limitation knowing, that frustration. And when the rest of the world and whatever you call it have that, you're using this practice to translate what you're moving through. A deep, meaningful observation with the breath, the energy levels, connection to others. So your presence is very genuine. Whether you utter a word or not utter a word, whether you have a movement or no movement, your presence is very magnetic. That's why people want to be around that space. Energy draws. Now very gently stretch the legs into the front. Now very gently bring the left knee onto the chest. Left foot onto the right side. Right foot under the left buttock. Take a deep breath in. Garudasana, right arm on the top. Choose a place where your elbows can rest. Opening up that space of the chest. Take a deep breath in. And very gently twisting the spine onto the left side. So right elbow go past that, opening up, taking a gentle mudra. Now, at this very moment, you could see that your mind is releasing the speed, the profit. the security. And you're coming into the space of commitment to this integrity. It's not only on a moral stance, and you're deeply investing within the space. Your dedication. You're not cutting corners. When you're investing on your inner self, you're not cutting corners. Everyone is on a quick success, is cutting the corner. You know the true success comes to you to your values. Ultimately leads to results that speaks for it. Now take a deep breath in, come back. Shoulders relax, just open. Now gently you do the other side. So you stretch the legs first, the left foot. So we're going to use the right, isn't it? Better? Right deep to the chest. Right foot onto the left side. Take a deep breath in. Left foot under the right buttock. Take a deep breath, shoulders relax onto the Garudasana. This Garudasana, you can relax a little bit your spine and then elongate to twist. Now take a deep breath in, opening up, twisting the spine to the right side. Staying true to that space of your realization. That it is. Now stretch the legs into the front. Shake the legs, release the tension. Now very gently lying down on the floor and bringing the feet closer to the buttock. Tuck the tailbone under, arms resting on the side, palms facing down. Tuck the tailbone on the out breath, lifting up. Now I want you to give attention to the breath, attention to the movement, but without any effort. But you're very attentive. Now your observation in attention becomes your attention. You take a deep breath in, tuck the tailbone under, lifting up the spine. One vertebra at a time, arms stretching to the back now this time. Keep that spine while it's elevating. Observe. Bring the arms back on the out breath, bringing the spine down one vertebra. Now take a deep breath in, tuck the tailbone under, peel off the spine. Coming back the arms, then on the out breath, you're bringing the spine down. Now, what your awakening is, you're constantly releasing the falseness of everything that is borrowed. Whatever the way you have borrowed it, doesn't matter. Needs to just complete breathe-out. Now drop the knees onto the right side, arm stretch. Overlooking onto the left side. Observe, observe. No effort. Effort is when there is a division in the mind. Now you got it? So you have to go against what you thought was right, thought was opposition. So a brain like this is very dull. But brain that is awakening is very sensitive because you're awakening, so your mechanism is now not trained to go and follow. But it is now coming into that pristine, living in the truth, uniting its awareness. So it has a quickness. But it's not words, 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 words. Back into the center. Now drop onto the other side, overlooking. Align the spine in such a way that the twisting on the lower end, and there is another twist with the neck onto the other end. And now you see when your brain struggles, it cannot grasp the truth instantly because it is going through so many programs. Is this what it is? Is this what it is? You put two words, your mobile makes a sense like a word for you. Sometimes now they are even modern it makes a sentence. So the beauty of this awakening is you put aside all back into this. Now knees to the chest, completely breathe out from the spine into the front and into the back. Now very gently coming into seating pose. Take a deep breath in, twist the spine to the right side. Back into the center. Cross the legs, twist the spine to the other side. Back into the center. Take a moment. Now, if you have a limitation in this brain, seeking only from the separation, what happens with the brain is going to wither. And of course, there are so many scientific reasons why people are forgetting, and so on, so on, so on. I'm not going into. But awakened brain is so acute. It is a universal brain. Then it is not a personal brain. So personal, and that is a brain has no limitation of the personality. Because this is happening. So if you were not unaware of it, now you are aware of it. But now you are concentrating is not for a benefit. Not something to gain. There is no motive. There is no spiritual motive which we are gathering here. So allowing the extraordinary majesty of the beauty and life creation. You're stunned by the greatness. You're completely with it. There is no trying anymore. No, without any direction, just observe. You observe that from a mother's perspective, father, lover, wounded, nothing. Let the whole this mechanism to be active. Give its total attention. Now you're completely free from both positive and negative. Now what you have achieved is not a product of thought, not a product of a word. So now your demands to experience is dropped because this whole thing is excited. It is a totality. The mechanism part, now there is a space of examination. Being liberated is capable of looking at itself without any distortion. As you see through the eyes of the God, whatever is that graceful. There is no distortion. The mind is now free, absolutely without any distortion. Now there's no division, so there's no conflict. But there's no conflict. The space is in the space of healing, which was movement, flow. The moment you have a conflict with others, recognize this. Only this practice we are concluding when it is ending of conflict. When you realize that, arms raised onto the crown, palms onto the namaskar position, chanting 3 ohms of that realization. No, nothing, just vibration and frequency. Breathing in. Arms raised onto the ground, to the space of where you are, beyond this body and mind. Just observe the fracture of awakening is this body into the ground, into the space of the third eye. The very limitation of part of the throat that is only can be releasing by language as words. But throat is beyond that. Heart is beyond that. Solar plexus is beyond that. Navel, molecular. Releasing all the limitations that has been stuck in these all 7 chakras. Arms raised over the crown. Palms under the namaskar position on that. Awakening constantly have to be in the moment. Namaste. 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 So you see now you are not proving yourself to the external world. So you have been saying that you are success. You did your that as a speaker. So don't even think that I'm a great teacher and I'm only great for you if you are in the face of that greatness without a separation. And these are all very limited. So in the class, we are not trying to get something verbally corrected, educationally corrected. In the class, I always say, come to the practice, constantly be in the practice, because we are creating that space to awaken, awaken, awaken. So when we are awakened into that place, without control, without effort, every moment is in that place of majesty, awe. And in that space, the limitation body is very well understood. So you accept things as it is, but your awakening is constantly giving you new level of knowing. So we never know anything as complete. So be open to that today. Whether you're seeing the same tree again, same flower again, same partner again. That means if you are neglecting to look at it with that freshness, you have failed on life. You are dead in the level of the nature. The whole life is a living thing. So don't treat it static. And if you do this, you could understand whether you are the lawyer, you are a speaker, or you're a doctor. You are very in tune with it. There is a different energy moving through you. And that is effortlessly coming to you. So today's class is more on that deeper level of awakening. So whether you're having a holiday, whether you are having a peace, a family gathering, cooking, anything, do it in that without the conflict, without achieving. The moment when you are with it, you have achieved all of it. My love to you, Liz. My love to you, Sylvia. My love to Rebecca Dess and the beautiful son, Matt, Maria, and Dr. Michelle. Thank you for everything and all your love and support. Big hugs to you all. See you soon.